This news program is proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Now Biscuits.
NRI hosts its first meeting on population, statistics and society. MVIL disclosed its company's yearly plan. Non-government organizations continue to serve the people in remote areas. A very good evening. You're watching National EMTV News. I'm Godwin Eki. Thank you for joining us. The Papua New Guinea National Research Institute hosted its first Council Chairman Seminar Series on population, statistics and society. Main issue that was discussed by the presenters was solution to have an accurate population data in order to help the government in terms of planning and policy making for the country.
As a think tank institute that is in charge of the country, PNG NRI came up with a seminar series called the Chairman's Seminar Series to address pressing issues for the country. The first seminar was held today on the topic Population, Statistics and Society. Government agencies that are in charge of collecting population data were invited to present at the seminar. Chairman for PNG NRI Council, Wilson Thompson, says the main reason for hosting such seminars is to make sure all the researchers and prominent people around the country provide their information on pressing issues in the country. The Acting Assistant Director for Local Level Government under the Department of Provincial Government Affairs, Rowan Nimp, highlighted what they have been doing as an agency responsible for ward members.
Taking ownership of the system and rolling it out in the provinces, but any organization, any state agencies who require information from this book can access it for their own purposes. Like, for example, we have names of everybody living in a ward in that particular area. So the PNG Electoral Commission, if they wish, they can use our system to update their common roll. It's a cost-effective system there.
He explains that ward record book is being kept by a village ward member to help in collecting data for the community, and they are planning to roll out this program this year in some of the provinces. Deputy Secretary for Digital Government and Information Delivery Russell Warumba says in order to solve the issue on the population data, there has to be cooperation, partnership and coordination between the responsible authorities.
The issues that came up, and our good director as well, Dr. Osborne, and I believe we have been charged by the executive government to come up with a solution, and so we are meeting this way. And the parliamentary committee is doing its review, but we believe as the executive government, we must come up with a solution, and it can only come about through cooperation, partnership and coordination.
He further added that the issue is not technology, but it is in governance and can be solved. Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
Motor Vehicles Insurance Limited has been on a 3-year journey of transformation since the appointment of its new executive officer, Michael Markup. In an exclusive interview with EMTV in Port Moresby, Markup disclosed the company's yearly plan and its rebrand.
With its newly implemented compulsory third-party insurance, which includes the registration of mining, forestry and agriculture vehicles, Chief Executive Officer of MVIL Mark Markup says this is a period of transformation for the company. He states that apart from its restructure and rebranding, other important upcoming events include the Silver Jubilee celebration or 25th year anniversary, website launching and their office extension. Markup states that much work is underway in regards to the Compulsory Third Party Act or CTP.
Any person who brings a motor vehicle into this country and drives it around, whether on public or private road, and has people around it where it's moving and has potential for accidents and injure people, you have to register it and pay for CTP.
He further clarifies the importance of this amended act and what it means.
We need that to be registered so your CTP is captured. When you have accidents, then there's no problems. The tribe doesn't fight. They don't go and burn out houses and things like that. We're here to help. We're here to pay that compensation. The vehicle ended up in a car accident. We are going to pay for the death or pay for the accident, and while they're in hospital, we take care of them. So that's what that CTP insurance is all about.
He encourages vehicle owners to be cautious and responsible owners by registering their vehicles. Amanda Ilaitia, National EMTV News.
Agriculture is a sleeping giant in Papua New Guinea. It is a way forward to help people in their local communities to come up with concepts to improve their livelihoods. A local community from the Yamka tribe of the Hagen Central District of Western Highlands Province are embracing the concept of bulb onion farming. This initiative came about when Mr. Michael Makap, a man with a heart for his people, initiated this concept at Konda village to help them improve their way of life.
The concept of bulb onion farming was introduced 2 years ago by Mr. Michael Makap, whom many know him to be the Chief Executive Officer of the Motor Vehicles Insurance Limited or MVIL. Apart from his 8-to-5 job, he has seen the struggles of his people and came up with this concept to help them. This project is being spearheaded by the Word Interdenomination Foundation Incorporation, with support coming from the Fresh Produce Development Agency, or FDPA.
So FPDC or FPDA are doing the technical training on how to grow it, how to nurture it, how to transplant, how to look after it, how to harvest it, and then bring it to the foundation. They will then dry it out, and then they will sell it. So the growers, the community, the villages are not going to go through the trouble of drying it out. They'll just grow it. When it's ready, we'll just go and pick it up. The foundation just goes and picks it up.
Last weekend saw the launching of a demonstration farm situated within the Konda village with support from FDPA, which saw the establishment of a 50,000 seedling nursery and a demonstration drying shed.
It is a small shed made of skylight roofing, and then it's got a couple of fans, circular fans that sort of sucks in and throws out air. So there is a healing process going on in the bulb onions. So when the bulb onions are put inside, when they're harvested and put everything in there, there's a drying taking place. So the moisture is removed through this process.
The bulb onion project embraces an outgrower model. Mr. Makap explains how this model works.
With an outgrower model, it's called an outgrower model, where the community individuals are growing it. They come and take it to the foundation as a central point. They will sell it to the foundation. Foundation will keep it and then start to market it. So foundation makes a little bit of money. The farm price will go to them.
The bulb onion growers will not have to worry about finding a market for their produce, as the market aspect has been taken care of.
We must also pay our, respects to CPL. The owner of CPL has got a contract that is buying everything that's coming out of there and putting all the bulb onions in his CPL Stop and Shop supermarket. So he's doing a great job with the farmers up there, and I've also talked to him, and he told me, Michael, anything you grow in Konda, I will take.
This is a solution to socio-economic problems, which is evidently crippling communities around Papua New Guinea. Florence John Duo, National EMTV News.
NCD Metropolitan Superintendent Chief Inspector Silva Sika has made it clear that police officers will continue to clean up the streets of Port Moresby. He said this exercise under community policing has started and instructions will be continuously issued for his men to act upon and for the general public, especially street vendors, to take heed of.
Intervene and tell you enough is enough. Metsup Silva Sika said street sellers have become an eyesore in the nation's capital city.
We've already started cleaning up the city, especially the undesignated places where people are selling the so-called informal sector. We've already, because of that scenario, we've already started giving directives to members in respective zones to start cleaning up, removing people from the streets.
The police boss in NCD explained that marketing at undesignated areas becomes host to petty crimes.
These are the places that host a lot of petty offences. Even it allows for youth from the community who are unfortunate ones. They come and they sit down the streets, put away, and they, especially women, are targeted. They force them, they demand them for money and so forth. So we've started working on this. We've started cleaning up the town already.
Metsup Sika made a call to street sellers to respect the law and to obey instructions issued to them by selling their products and produce at correct designated market facilities provided in all suburbs of the city. Police officers at Tiboroko Police Station have commenced the awareness and cleanup exercise, and other suburban police stations are expected to follow suit. It is understood some arrests have been made last week in relation to street vending, and police will remain vigilant in order to uphold the face and image of our nation's capital city. Lindy Suharupa, National EMTV News.
As all three disciplinary forces are doing recruitment exercises this year, in line with the Marape Rosso government's intention to give priority to law and order, the correctional services have commenced processing applicants. A total of 1,164 interested applicants in NCD alone have shown great interest in joining the correctional services.
These are some of the applicants vying for various positions within the Department of Correctional Services. These lots have just been processed and are ready to sit for their entry test come Thursday. This is 26-year-old Felix Opeta from the Northern Province.
Most of them, they used to go out. Sometimes they used to break out from the prison. So one thing that I want to help the prisoners, or it's like I want to maintain the peace, or to make them change their life, or to treat them with dignity and humility, try to make them to become a better person. So when they finish their term, when they go to their village or society, they will start influencing other people with their experience, what they have faced in the prison.
Like Felix, hundreds of other applicants have gone through processing and are looking forward to sit for their entry tests. Another applicant who wished to remain anonymous said he has participated in previous recruitment exercises, and basing on his observation, there have been bribery and nepotism in past recruitments. He hopes this one will be free from such ill practices and is calling on the government to create more spaces in its next recruitment drive, as youths who have the qualifications but are unemployed are eager to join. It is understood almost 5,000 applicants nationwide have applied. However, there are only 120 vacant positions available in the 2023 recruitment exercise. Lindy Suharupa, National EMTV News.
Department of Personnel Management Secretary Ms. Taye Sansan has declared 2023 the year for call to action year for the department. She made this known yesterday during the first staff departmental meeting for this year.
Secretary Taye Sansan issued this bold statement to the staff to be ready to deliver key initiatives the department will be implementing this year. Ms. Sansan also issued a stern warning to staff on attendance, punctuality and dress code. She added that this may seem as minor issues. However, these are the foundation of what is required of a public servant. These warnings are not new, as public servants are always reminded of. Hence, she has urged everyone to take heed of the warnings. Emphasizing on what Prime Minister James Marape said earlier this year, During the public servant's dedication service, Secretary Sansan has urged every public servant to personally assess their performance in the previous years up until now. Secretary Taya Sansan told staff to take heed of the declaration made and to commit 2023 as the year to action. Lindy Suharupa, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to National EMTV News. With only 4 days to go before Neglected Tropical Diseases Day on Monday, the 30th of January 2023, a call for leaders, partners and communities to unite and confront inequalities that drive NTD has been made by the World Health Organization's country representative, Director General Dr. Sevil Yusenova.
Neglected tropical diseases, or NTDs, have been called neglected because they do not get the attention and funding unlike other diseases. In PNG, 500,000 people are affected by NTDs, and the World Health Organization, along with its partners and the National Department of Health, are doing their utmost best to ensure the education, awareness, prevention, and ultimately the eradication of the diseases are being carried out. For 20 years, Dr. Sevil Yusenova has been engaged with the World Health Organization. She is now the PNG country representative for WHO, and she spoke about the diverse group of 20 conditions that are widespread and highlighted the 8 diseases found in the country.
Papua New Guinea has 8 of these diseases which are prevalent and affect over 500,000 people. Lymphatic filariasis, yaws, leprosy, scabies, soil-transmitted helminthiasis, trachoma, dengue, brulee ulcer are amongst those, and they could be prevented, treated, and eventually eliminated.
In the countdown to World NTDs Day this Monday, the call was made by Dr. Sevil for unification by all stakeholders to confront NTDs.
On this occasion of World Neglected Tropical Diseases Day of 2023, we are calling on everyone, leaders, partners, scientific organizations and communities to confront inequalities that drive NTDs. We need to make bold and sustainable investments to free the most vulnerable communities from NTDs.
Dr. Yusenova said NTDs are preventable and treatable when detected early, and shared why delay in seeking treatment is deadly.
We need to make bold and sustainable investments to free the most vulnerable communities from NTDs. Neglected tropical diseases are preventable and treatable when detected early. Delay in seeking treatment and care can result in lifelong disability and death. People should have the information they need and access and availability to essential health services near to their homes.
It is vital that awareness is carried out on NTDs as it affects the world's poorest people. NTDs impair physical and cognitive development, contribute to mother and child illness and death, and makes it difficult to farm or earn a living. It also limits productivity in the workplace. Rocky Iso, National EMTV News.
Non-government organizations continue to serve the people in remote areas with various issues affecting the society, ranging from education, health and infrastructure, trying to solve conflicts as well as aid assistance to disaster-affected areas to ensuring people are happy. One of the institutions is the International Committee of the Red Cross in PNG that was established since 2007 to serve humanity.
In an interview today, International Committee of Red Cross, Head of Mission in PNG, Dominic Aben, is delighted to share his experience. Aben highlights some of the services that ICRC provides to the people of PNG since its establishment.
Mandated to address issues in conflicts, violences, or to formulate short man-made disasters. For that we have the professional expertise worldwide, and we are working in countries which are affected by either conflict, war, or sort of situations of violences. For that reason, we also came to Papua New Guinea.
Aben says PNG is rich, but there is more work needed to be done in saving humanity. He says working in PNG has a lot of challenges with rock terrain, natural disasters, conflicts, and other issues that require immediate response.
For the highlands as well, when we go to and respond to the humanitarian impact of a community or tribal fight, that there might be still security-related issues. So we have to discuss a lot with the communities that we are coming to explain who we are, what we do, in order not to be at a risk in regard of security.
Aben says tribal fights will affect our peace and daily living. So he adds people to solve their conflict through peaceful means. He will be leaving PNG to serve in other countries under ICRC in the middle of the year, but states that PNG is a good place and he hopes to come back in the future. Thomas Suliambari, National EMTV News.
As part of its corporate social responsibility towards our local communities, MoneyPlus continues to assist communities. Today, a laptop was gifted to a rather special doctor who is the only soft tissue remedial therapist in the country.
This is Brian. He is a person with special needs, however, is a therapist by profession. He deals with soft tissue remedial therapy. He uses a variety of remedial massage techniques to help patients recover from accidents, injuries, and diseases. He has also worked with Olympians and our local sporting icons, as he elaborates further.
I have worked with teams and groups, both men and female, in different sport calibers. Yes, I have treated Olympians. I have treated national representatives in overseas, and I enjoy my work as a soft tissue remedial therapist.
The general manager for MoneyPlus, Dioben Baluyut, says this is an ongoing initiative.
It will be an ongoing thing because I remember that Bullets assisted a lot of, not only for the disabled, but also for some people that needs our assistance or what. So this is not the first time. It will still be ongoing.
MoneyPlus is a financial lending company nationwide that assists ordinary Papua New Guineans with financial needs. Furthermore, it is also actively involved in its corporate social responsibilities to the country. Brian is determined to provide his clients with the highest standard of treatment with remedial therapy, as well as make more Papua New Guineans aware of the benefits of soft tissue therapy. Lindy Suharupa, National EMTV News.
PNG Civil Identity and Registry is aiming to complete registering 95% of the population by 2025. This was stated by the Registrar General for PNG Civil Identity Registry, Noel Mobiha, during a seminar presentation this morning at the PNG National Research Institute.
With a lot of questions being raised on the civil identity registry sector, the Registrar General for PNG, Noel Mobiha, says they are doing their part as an agency to get people to register. He explains that when the government initiated the program in 2017, it was a development in the science, technology and mathematics space and has never been practiced in the country. Thus, mistakes were made along the way.
In the beginning of this project, it was a development in the science, technology, engineering and mathematics space that's never been done before in this country. So we've gone into an area where there's a vacuum. So obviously we make mistakes. And some of the mistakes we're starting to fix it. And
he gave current statistics on registered people and pending registrations.
2.855 million NID registrations, the biggest government database in the country. Nobody else matches this. 74% of that is adults, which is biometrics, collecting data and birth certificates. and 26% older children. The number has actually grown from 21% to 26% now. We got about 2.1 million birth certificates printed. I think the success rate on handing it out, and those of you who registered sometime, we printed about 1.1 million NID cards. We got a backlog of about 400,000 sitting in the systems waiting to be processed, and some going back to the processing sites to see if we can correct the data we've been collecting or fix the data we've been making mistakes on.
Mobia says out of all the districts in the country, Yanguru Sausia was the only district that has registered all its population. Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
And now taking a look at the Nest Fund market report, the Kina closed unchanged at $0.2840 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your Kina was buying $0.2765 US, $0.3890 Australian dollars, $0.2463 euro, 35.53 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York closed, gold is trading lower, coffee closed higher, cocoa closed lower, copra closed lower, palm oil closed lower, crude oil is trading higher, and copper closed higher. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX 200 is trading lower, the All Ordinaries is trading lower. National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National EMTV News. To an inspirational story and PNG's first woman pilot to fly for Virgin Australia, retired First Officer Lydia Clancy, now entrepreneur and high-ticket affiliate marketer and now author, has penned the ultimate guide on how to be happier in 24 hours. Clancy's self-help book is written after 2 decades of being an air pilot and shares Clancy's remarkable journey of identity, belief shifting from going against the cultural norms to inspire and motivate other Papua New Guineans.
From the Southern Highlands province to the city lights of Australia, retired First Officer Lydia Clancy is a woman who has lived a high-flying life and has her name etched into PNG aviation history. Today, Clancy's life is much different from one she once lived. She is a religious woman content with life and taking nothing for granted, eager to etch a new career from the high-flying world she left behind as a commercial pilot.
I need to be my own boss. Like, I got to be a CEO. I want to, because being an employee is fantastic. It's fantastic to leverage, because that's a university for nourishing your skill sets and all that kind of stuff, building your skill sets and all that. But once it's time for you to, when you know, you've just got to look around and see what there's a need for in society.
In 2019, the onset of COVID-19 led to loss of jobs, with many companies having to make redundant many individuals due to the global pandemic. Lydia Clancy was one of those who was made redundant. For many of her counterparts, the loss of income left them unable to cope mentally, and this led to them taking their own lives, which inspired her to pen her book, Be Happier by Tomorrow.
I had 2 choices: be a victim, cry about it and sook and blame everybody like we all like to do, or say, right, this is another stepping stone and I'm going to use it to start educating and motivating and using my story, use it for good. Like, I'm going to allow God to use me as the vessel, that's the word I'm using, thank you, use me as the vessel to start helping people.
Clancy's book is selling on Amazon, and through being an entrepreneur on a local level, she wants to empower and educate young women and men on online marketing to be their own boss and create their own high-income transferable skills. Currently, her clients are from all over the world, and Clancy wants to work with business houses and groups to deliver motivational speeches. For those who wish to be taught by Clancy, you can check her out on Facebook and follow the links attached. Meanwhile, Clancy had this message for those who are currently undergoing some difficult circumstances.
first of all, put God first, and then after that, you've got to believe in yourself, because it's fair enough you can believe in ask other people to help you to believe in yourself, but it starts with you first. You've got to believe in yourself first, and know that your story, like, you are unique, you're original, and you are different, and you have something in you to contribute, to the earth, like to everybody, to people that are around you.
According to Clancy, the mental state of mind has to be nourished, and to be happier by tomorrow is a step-by-step look on how to change your mindset and become happier in just 24 hours. Rocky Iso, National EMTV News.
And moving overseas now, Chris Hipkins have been officially sworn in as the New Zealand's 41st Prime Minister.
Mr Hipkins was elected unopposed by the Labor Party to replace Jacinda Ardern, who resigned after 6 years in the top job. Ms Ardern quit last week, revealing she had no more in the tank and was leaving the position to spend more time with her young family. Mr Hipkins says it's a great privilege to lead the country as it prepares to vote in a general election in October.
This is the biggest privilege and responsibility of my life. I'm energised and excited by the challenges that lie ahead. The Deputy Prime Minister and I both take today's appointments very seriously. As Prime Minister, I acknowledge the important nature of my role in advising the Sovereign and the Governor-General. I express my personal thanks to you and look forward to working with you.
Well, Chris Hipkins is around about now the 41st Prime Minister of this country, but you know that, Joe. Chris Hipkins is a senior member of the Labor Party. He's been in the Parliament since 2008. He likes to be known as Chippy. He comes from the Lower Hutt, which is one of the, it's not quite the provinces, but it's a far-flung suburb of the capital city, Wellington. So he can present himself as not a country boy, but a sort of a bloke next door. But he's been Minister of Education. He's been the Leader of the House. He's been Minister for Public Services and State Services. So quite a young-looking man, former COVID response minister, but a really experienced member of the New Zealand Labor Party.
Germany is set to announce whether it will allow Leopard 2 tanks to be sent to Ukraine after a formal request from Poland.
Scholz has reportedly decided to approve the delivery of the tanks within the next 24 hours. Ukraine has been pleading with Western nations over the issue, but Germany has been hesitant to send tanks over fears it would further inflame tensions with Russia and escalate the war.
Die NATO darf dabei nicht Kriegspartei werden.
NATO must not become a party to the war, and at the same time, however, the cohesion of the alliance is of central importance, both in the external image to Ukraine, the nation that's being attacked here, and to which we have committed ourselves to do everything that is necessary to help, but also to send clear signals of determination towards the aggressor, Russia.
Germany had refused to make a decision either way, but an official request from Poland has forced the government to make a call. All nations need Berlin's backing before they can re-export the German-made battle tanks to Kiev. They're sought after because they're available in large numbers and are easy to deploy and maintain. The United States is also poised to decide whether to send Abram tanks in a move designed to encourage Germany to follow. Ukraine is hoping additional arsenal will help regain territory ahead of an expected Russian offensive in the coming months.
President Zelensky is very impatient. He says that this is a war of time and we need this time to win. And he's also said that he's not going to be stopping at just demanding tanks. He signalled that he is even going to be asking the NATO countries for F-16 jet fighters. So this is one more step along a very long pathway where Zelensky's really trying to wind up towards having almost the entire panoply of NATO defence gear.
Afghanistan is facing its coldest winter in a decade, with temperature plunging to as low as minus 31.
Of aching beauty, but brutal. We're travelling through the massives of the Hindu Kush, through the world's second highest road tunnel, the Salang Tunnel, a place of legend. It's an engineering wonder, but a death trap, especially in winter, in avalanches and accidents. The only highway rescue at this spot is Saki Mohammed, selling chains for tires in the coldest winter in a decade. Tough stuff in threadbare clothes.
It gets so cold, you can't see the road, you can't walk, and the heaters in cars don't work.
These are the lives people live here. It's so cold, but he said it's going to get colder still. We've been out just for minutes and our eyebrows are frozen and my face feels it's going to fall off. Imagine if you live day in, day out in conditions like this.
This is the only way to reach Saki Mohammed's home. There's no road. Nothing is easy in this life.
This is what life is like here. Literally lived on the edge.
Even for the littlest, with little cover from this biting cold. A home made of mud, with the warmth of a large family.
I have heard people died of cold. My kids recently got sick. Some of my animals died. Till now, I haven't heard people died in Salang.
Even 5-year-old Jamshed helps keep them alive. He tells me how they have to carry water from the river, freezing in the wind and storms.
National EMTV News continues after the break with Trukai Sports. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. We begin with NCD Governors Cup tournament. After much delays due to bad weather and venue issues, the NCD Governors Cup will see its semi-final matches this coming weekend, played between the top teams currently topping the ladder. The 4 teams will go head-to-head to compete for a spot in the grand final, where top 2 teams will compete for the 2022 and 2023 Premiership title of the NCD Governors Cup. Meanwhile, the grand final tournament between the 2 grand finalists will be opened by a curtain raiser match between 2 female teams that registered to be in the competition this year. The semi-final matches will be played at the Mosby South Black Stadium on Saturday. The 2023 season of the Host Plus Cup is set to kick off in March this year on Saturday the 11th of March with an opening match between the Townsville Blackhawks taking on the Sunshine Coast Falcons. The second match on the day will be against Ipswich Jets taking on the South Logan Magpies, and the third match to be between the North Devils and Burleigh Bears, while the last 2 matches of the day to be between the Wynnum Manly Seagulls against the Mackay Cutters and the Capras to take on Tweedhead Seagulls. Meanwhile, the SPPNG Hunters will play their first match of the season on Sunday, the 12th of March, 2023, as the Hunters take on the Western Clydesdales. To athletics now, and 9 members of the PNG Athletics Distance Squad have been on the Gold Coast since mid-December, preparing for the World Cross Country Championships, which will be held in Bathurst, New South Wales on February the 18th. The 6 male athletes, Siyun Kal Israel Takap, Aquila Turalom, Abel Siune, Dilu Gaye, and James Kuadua, who are based at Varsity Lakes, and the 3 females, Kolistika Herman, Ogen Awa, and Mary Tenge, who are at the Gold Coast Performance Centre at Runaway Bay. PNG is yet to finalize its lineup for the 3 events, which are 10-kilometer open races for men, women 10-kilometer races, and 8-kilometer mixed relay, where 2 male and 2 female athletes will each run 2 kilometers. Athletics PNG President Tony Green said that Aina Gaya and Mary Kua will fly in from the US to join the team, but it seems unlikely that any other athlete will be able to join them. Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
You're watching Trukai Sports. Victoria Azarenka has reached the Australian Open semi-finals for the first time in 10 years following an upset straight sets defeat of the world number 3, Jessica Pegula.
Against world number 3, Jessica Pegula, who a lot of people did fancy to take the tournament out. She didn't really give Pegula a chance to test, I should say. She broke her 5 times across the 2 sets. The final score was 6-4, 6-1, and she seems to be playing some of the best form, the best recent form of her career, and that observation was made many times by the commentators, playing really high on the baseline, taking time away from Pegula, and especially when she got onto her backhand side, she was really, really dominant.
Yep, cool. And how's Tsitsipas playing?
Oh, he's in sparkling form, and he actually said in the post-match he feels like he's really mature, he can draw on his experience, but also he feels like he's in some of the best form that he's been in recently. So he advances through to the semi-finals. It was a tough fought 3-setter though. He did play giant killer Jiri Lehechka. The final score 6-3, 7-6, 6-4. And that sets up a semi-final clash with 18th seeded Russian Karen Khachanov. Both of those players are looking for their maiden major title. Tsitsipas, if he does make it through to the final and he does face Novak Djokovic, he will have to put behind him his French Open final, where he was 2 sets to love up against Novak.
Australia's women have made a strong start to their T20 International Series against Pakistan, beating the tourists by 8 wickets at North Sydney Oval.
She took 5 for 15 with a brilliant spell.
Pretty amazing stats, huh?
Isn't it? That really kept the Pakistani side to that really modest total of 118. And I've just pulled out these highlights of Elise Perry, who was a surprising opener for the Australian team. She normally bats sort of around the middle of the order, but she came in up top and she scored an unbeaten 57 from 40 balls. We know what a storied all-rounder she's been for such a long time for the Australian side. So yeah, they just continue on their merry way. The next game is in Hobart tomorrow, and then the series finishes in Canberra this Sunday. But yeah, just another warning shot to the rest of the world, I guess, that their form line hasn't really gone anywhere.
That ends Trukai Sports. The weather report is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoniPlus, with you always.
Weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Southern region, Port Moresby, Kerema and Popondetta, cloudy periods with rain at times. Daru, cloudy periods with few showers. Alatau, cloudy with some showers and possible thunderstorm. In the Momase region, Ley, cloudy periods with few showers. Medang, some showers and possible thunderstorm. Wewak, possible brief showers. Vanimo, partly cloudy. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau and Kimbe, partly cloudy with possible brief showers. Buka, Kokopo, Rabaul and Kavieng, partly cloudy. In the Highlands region, all centres, partly cloudy with patchy rain, then morning fog.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoniPlus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Wednesday, the 25th of January 2023. From the entire news team, pleasant viewing. Bye for now.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.